step over and push. I could do a right foot L and out, but now I'm on this side. Okay, but what I can't do is a right foot step over and then push out here. Yeah?
How did you kind of
Yeah, so my brother was playing.
Okay.
And I was always too young. He's 5 years older than me, so I was too young to play. And I'd cry every single time he went to a game. I'd be like, I want to play. And my parents were like, you literally can't yet. There's nowhere to sign you up. So I'd always just be on the sidelines kicking a ball. And then eventually when I was, I think, 4 years old, they signed me up. I started playing and I absolutely hated it. I started crying. I was like, I don't want to do this. It's horrible. I hated putting my socks on in particular because they were so tight. So then my dad actually, we joke about this all the time as a family. My dad was like, if you can just stick it out through this game, I will go after to 7-Eleven and buy you a Slurpee. So I said, fine. You know what? It is what it is. So I stuck it out and I scored like 3 goals that game. So I got my 3 goals and a Slurpee. And I was like, you know what? I think I like this sport. This is great.
So technically your first game check was a Slurpee from 7-Eleven.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly.
Have you ever looked?
I had right before the pandemic hit, I had a job with Disney. And that I was going to go get my master's and stuff. And that's kind of the route I was going. Pandemic hit, changed a lot of people's lives. To me, I always say like this, like it changed my life for the better. I went to Taiwan and then I came back and I got an agent and then I went to Finland and played. And like on the side, I was training and then I got like a full blown kind of just business training all these kids. I got like word of mouth. And that was probably the coolest thing to see because I wasn't expecting it. And then I like fell in love with it. I fell in love with seeing like one of my first clients ever. She was like, I think 6 when we started. She's 8 and almost 9 now. And her just transition. Her first video I ever took of her to now is completely different. So I think the coolest thing about this and being in Brentwood and being in this area is like seeing these kids just truly develop and follow their passions kind of like how I did. Yeah, so actually my philosophy is if a kid comes to me and, you know, a family and they're like, we love this sport, my kid wants to learn, she's all about it or he's all about it. I don't want to take like my 6-year-old client versus like my 15-year-old client and change up the drills tremendously. Yes, of course they're going to change just because of the aspect of like, or the nature of like their age and stuff. But with the 6-year-old, like I'm teaching them like soul hops, inside, outside, step overs. Like I think learning that stuff at a young age is crucial to the development here instead of learning it at like 10, 13, because now you already know it at 6, 7, and you just keep getting better and better and better and faster at it. So my philosophy is I will train the same way I like for a 6-year-old that I'll train for a 15-year-old, a 20-year-old, because that intensity, but they need it. If they can learn that stuff early on, it's really, I think, beneficial for them. I tell the high school girls all the time, every single year I ask them like to put on a note card, their name in a note card, and then just hand it in, what 3 colleges they want to go to, what are their goals, and I tell them I don't want it now, go home and think on it, give it to me in a day, 2 days, but they have to all turn it in. Then I kind of see like what their goals are, and a lot of them, and I have them try, sometimes I have them do it at the end of the year, and a lot of them change because they do more research. Like, oh shoot, it is possible. I've had like endless conversations with some players who like, I think a big thing here is like confidence, where I see the player and I'm coaching them, so I know that they have the skill set, but they don't realize it themselves. They think it's like playing from where they're at now to like college or pro is like this huge different like skill set when like they have it. They just have, of course they're young and they have to keep working on it and they can do it, but they have to continue to put the work in. And so, like I said, like that confidence, we just have to get that confidence up for them to believe that they can do it. I'm also not the coach to, if a drill's not working, just move on. Like we have to learn it. I'm a true believer in like staying on it until we fully learn it, or at least get 1% better. I say that a lot. We'll get 1% better and then we can move on, because what'll happen is if I do move on next week, it's going to be the same problem. But now if we stayed on it, you understand the basics, next week we can grow, and the following week and the following week. And I think that's why I've seen so much success with these players is we'll stay on it and they're wanting to take it in. They're sponges. They want to learn. They want to be here.